Hello, folks. Mustache May is over, and so you know what that means. It's Chaplin Week. That's right, folks. It's Charlie Chaplin Week. Folks, it's Charlie Chaplin Week. And we watched one Charlie Chaplin movie for movie Reviewvies, and then we watched two movies following our movie Reviewvie special of Shia LaBeouf. Our first ever special was Eddie Murphy, and we watched Beverly Hill Cops 1. But today, I watched Beverly Hill Cops 2 and 3. So I'm going to just spoil that for you. And I'm sorry that I didn't put a VHS out there last week. It was specials week. I had a lot going on. I was flustered. So I forgot the VHS. But this week we'll remember the VHS. I got to start remembering the VHS, folks. And also, remember, every 20th movie Reviewvie, Mr.Christopher, that's me. This is my world. This is Movie Reviewvies. I'm Mr. Christopher, that's me. Every 20th episode, this is the 40th episode, I talk about the stars, the celebs, the actors and actresses that I like and dislike and, find in the middle. So I've been going over the list. I'll show you the list before I change some of the things. But then we'll talk a couple people. We'll add a couple people. Maybe we'll get rid of a couple people. We're not going to get rid of a couple people. But people are moving around, though. People are moving around. We're adding people. With that said, I got the Chaplin stash this week. I'm going to have to do all these episodes before tomorrow because I can't go out in the wild with the Chaplin stash, though I rock it. Tell me I don't. But, I could go out in the wild with it. It's just like, do I want to deal with it? Do I want to deal with it? That's just no. Usually when it comes to that question, do I want to deal with it? The answer is usually no. It's usually no. So, but with all that said, we got a good one for you this week. I'm not going to forget the VHS. We got stars and celebs and such we're talking about. I watched a Charlie Chaplin movie. Eddie Murphy's here. Let's go. Let's get into it, folks. Come on. Mr. Christopher told you he watched a Charlie Chaplin movie, and he wasn't kidding, folks. The Circus. Charlie Chaplin honestly is a legend and an artist, and you got to give it up to him. Mr. Christopher watched The Circus. On the Mr. Christopher movie Scalculator, sir, how did it score? Please, sir, please take it away. All right, I'll stop. Yes, it is a black and white silence film, folks, and it's a great movie. It's one of his top 3. To me, I'm a Charlie Chaplin guy, for anybody who doesn't know this, and it's his best movie. I love The Circus. I had to watch it, and I had to bring it to you folks as if you're going to watch a silent black and white film, and I know a lot of people out there are like, I can't watch a silent black and white movie. A silent black and white film? How am I going to understand it? I don't have the attention span. I know, folks, but if you're going to watch a silent black and white, The Circus is the one to do it with. Chaplin is an artist. The man knew what he was doing. It's the 1920s, folks. I had to give it to him. On the Mr. Christopher movie Scalculator, it scored a very solid 8, folks. I gave it an 8, folks, because let's face it, it's damn well great, folks. It's a good movie. It's a good black and white silent film. It'll make you laugh. I want to write an adaptation called Thanks for the Egg. I've only written like a scene, but I'll get there eventually. Thanks for the Egg. If you see the movie, you'll know why I want to call it Thanks for the Egg. But with all that said, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving along here, folks. We got a lot to do today. All right, folks. Mr. Christopher told you he was going to do it, and he's going to do it because he went and watched Beverly Hills Cop 2 and 3. But we're starting with 2 because Mr. Christopher goes in chronological order, folks. That's just the logical thing to do. It's the chronological thing to do. But anyway, folks, Eddie Murphy's back. Beverly Hills Cop 2. Mr. Christopher, how did you feel about it, sir? Please, sir, please. Take it away. I'll take it away, Larry. Thank you. I'm going to read my notes on this one because here's why, folks. When I started Mr. Christopher's World, I got this little tiny notebook, and I was doing all my notes for all my movies in here. And, it's come to an end. This notebook is now full, and it saddens me because I mean, I have like maybe I could fit more like 4 more movies in here, but then it's done. But let's read my notes on this one because I had a lot of feeling toward this movie. Beverly Hills 2, a young Chris Rock was there. Great 80s start, Eddie rules. 1989, 80s Beverly Hills, 80s breasts, a Gerald Ford reference. It's fine. It's a fine movie. A web of lies and lies and lies and more lies. It's too long. All over the place, boring, sort of unfunny, trying to be something it isn't. On the Mr. Christopher movie calculator, it scored a very low 4. I gave it a 4, folks. I gave it a 4 because I just didn't care for it, honestly. The first one's better. And let's get into the third one. Let's get into Eddie's third Beverly Hills Cop, and let's see what Mr. Christopher felt about that one. Let's go. Let's get into it. We'll get into it, Mr. Christopher, with Beverly Hills Cop 3, baby. Eddie Murphy coming back in 1994. And for some reference, I'm sure Mr. Christopher will talk about it anyway, but the first one came out in 1984, the second one came out in 1989, and the third one came out in 1994, 10 years from the first one. Mr. Christopher, what did score on the Mr. Christopher movie calculator, sir? How'd you feel about it? Please, sir, please. Take it away. I'll take it away, Larry. For some reference, folks, for the first Beverly Hills Cop, during my Eddie Murphy special, I rated that a 5. For Beverly Hills Cop 2, you just seen I rated it a 4. For Beverly Hills Cop 3, 1994. So 1984 was 1, 1989 was 2, 1994 is 3, and it's a totally different Eddie. It's 90s Eddie. This is a totally different Eddie than you met in the first 2 movies. And the movie is made better. There's a significant death in the movie that really makes the movie, to me, a better movie than the other 2. And I just, obviously the death isn't going to hit you as hard if you didn't watch the other 2. But why are you watching the third one without watching the other 2? I don't understand what you're even doing there. But this may be a rarity here. This might only be the second time I've watched a trios of movies that are all the same. I believe Now You See Me 1, 2, and 3, and now it's going to be Beverly Hills 1, 2, and 3. And there is a 4th Beverly Hills movie that I will watch eventually, but that's neither here nor there. On the Mr. Christopher movie calculator, Beverly Hills Cop 3 scored a very decent 6. This was Daddy Daycare Eddie. If you know what I mean by that, you know what I mean by that. But this was like the beginning of that Eddie Murphy. And I liked this movie. I thought it was a good 90s film. And I enjoyed it. And with all that said, folks, let's get into the lists of actors and actresses of whom I like, dislike, and just feel in between. We're going to look at it. We'll talk about it a little bit. I'm going to come back and show you the VHS. And then we'll go back and I'll show you some changes I made. And then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. And then we'll get out of here, folks. We'll get out of here. And we'll move on to Roasting the Dead, which is tomorrow, folks. And okay. And then the next day is our Connoisseur. And then after that, then I take I told you before, I take a few days off. I have to do some stuff and blah, blah, blah. And let's do the list. Mr. Christopher's actor and actress list of the good, the bad, and the mid, folks. Here it is. This is where we left off 20 episodes ago with favorites, love, adore, must watch more of their work. We got Keke Palmer, Christian Bale, John Malkovich, Lizzie Chaplin, Bill Murray, Eddie Murphy, Amy Adams, Chris Tucker, and Mel Gibson. In the middle ground, we got Tim Allen, J-Lo, Channing Tatum, and Julia Roberts. And over here on the hate, can't stand, go away forever. How did you get this job? Who do you know? We got Robert Pattinson, Mark Ruffalo, Jesse Eisenberg, Bradley Cooper, and Timothée Chalamet. Things are going to change, folks, but let me show you the VHS before we start throwing things around and changing some things and adding some people. Let's show you the VHS. Let's get in here, folks. First of all, let me show you my shirt. I got a shirt with my face on it. Right? Looks just like me. Secondly, I started to keep the VHS in my lap instead of behind me because I figure if it's in my lap, I'm not going to forget it. Blonde. We watched Blonde, folks. Blonde. It's a movie about Marilyn Monroe. And some irony, some fun stuff. I got a Marilyn Monroe picture last week for our connoisseur. That was fun. And today, right now, this very second as I film this, is Marilyn Monroe's 100th birthday. She's dead, but if she was alive, she'd be 100 today. And my daughter's 13 today, and I love her, and happy birthday to her so much. And and happy birthday to Marilyn Monroe as well. Let's get back to the list, though. All right, folks, here's the list as we see it today. I'll tell you right now, Keke Palmer, Timothée Chalamet, they both made their way into the middle section. That's Keke Palmer, moved from favorites to the middle. Timothée Chalamet moved from hate to the middle, so Timothy's getting closer to like. I added Jake Gyllenhaal, Chris Rock to the middle. Lizzie Chaplin made her way from the favorites to the middle. Nicole Kidman is in there now in the middle. And I'll tell you why. Lizzie Chaplin, because I haven't watched much of her work. I liked her for a second, but I haven't seen much of her work since. Same with Keke Palmer. I love Keke Palmer, but I just haven't seen much of her work. Timothée Chalamet, I've seen a lot of his work recently, and I'm kind of like meh, meh, meh. And then over here on the like side, you got Christian Bale still there, John Malkovich, Rob Reiner made his way in, Scarlett Johansson, Bill Murray's still there, Eddie Murphy's still there, Danny McBride's a new addition, Amy Adams, Chris Tucker, Mel Gibson, J-Lo moved from the middle to the like. Selena grabbed me by the heart. Shia LaBeouf, Jack Nicholson, Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, Willem Dafoe, John Candy. These are just some great names I had to add to the favorites. Love, adore, must watch more of their work side. Here's your middle ground. And then the people I hate, I really only added Matt Dillon and Jeremy Renner. Bradley Cooper, Jesse Eisenberg, Mark Ruffalo, and Robert Pattinson all stayed the same. You know what? Let Mr. Christopher take this one. He's got something to say. What I got to say, folks, is that there's a lot of movies with a lot of people out there that I'm just never going to even take the time to learn their names to put on this list because, as you can already tell, the list is getting long already, and I haven't even really dove that deep. And I love Keke Palmer. I love her, but I just have not seen anything with her in it recently. And I got to respect the art of the acting world. I'm not just going to keep Keke Palmer over in the I love and adore her stuff section just because I physically love and adore her. I need to watch her work. That's on me, but I haven't. And that's why I look at her name and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put you in the middle. Timothée Chalamet, on the other hand, I watched a couple things with him in it recently, and I was like, you getting me, kid, a little bit. You getting me. Plus, I need to rewatch Marty Supreme. I'm going to do a rewatch episode soon. Marty Supreme's one of the movies. I think Being John Malkovich, who stayed in the good side, by the way, that's another one of them. And there's going to be two other ones. But either way, that's a rewatch episode. That's down the line, coming up probably soon. Who knows? Who cares? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the list right now, the celeb list. The good, the bad, and the mid. J-Lo, I brought her from mid to good because Selena, and I've seen so much J-Lo at this point. I mean, I just got to face the facts that I'm a J-Lo fan. It is what it is. John Candy, I just can't stand Jeremy Renner. I don't know what it is about him. And he was actually in a movie that we watched and I rated on here called Wind River. That was really good. But there's something about him I feel like if we met in real life, I'd like him. But on the screen, I'm like, something about you, buddy. I don't like you. And who else went to the hate side? Who was it? I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank. You like it? You like this drawing? It's a blank. Who cares? Anyway, let's just call it at that. There's a lot of names going on. You can go back and look at the list yourself if you want. The next time we do this is in 20 episodes from now. So that will be episode what? You do the math. 60? Episode 60 is the next time we're talking about stars and celebs. And I got to do a better job of taking notes on who I feel about. Because like I said, there's a lot of names out there that I would be like definitely on the hate side just because I'm just like, ugh, you did a terrible job and this is really all you have and it's terrible. Rob Reiner, by the way, the first director to make it on. And he's an actor, yes. But I really have him on here for directing because he really has struck me by surprise with some of the movies that I've seen him direct that were just fantastic. And plus his son murdered him, which is so just I mean, you got to say it's just an artistic thing to do. You know, it's an artistic way to die. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. Sorry about my hairy armpits. Disgusting. But yeah, you know what? I'll wear sleeves next time. With all that said, that's the end of Movie Reviewvies with me, Mr. Christopher. I'm Mr. Christopher. This is my world. I hope you enjoyed. Smile. You're on Candid Camera. Remember that show? Get out of here, Walmart balloon. That's it. All right. Lead with love. Never be afraid. Always keep moving forward. And I will see you for Roasting the Dead. Bye. Mr. Christopher, you crazy.